Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. To give y'all some time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Keith, what's going on, my guy? You already. First things first, you already know. Nah, you good. You good, you good bro. Shoot. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Wednesday. Hopefully everybody smoothly got through the work day. Hopefully kids enjoying, I believe it's spring break coming up for some of y'all. So, hopefully you're enjoying yourselves, especially those in the city. Hopefully you've been keeping yourselves active, enjoying your time because weather has been nice mostly. Um, so if you haven't been getting out and doing much, make sure you're getting out, get yourself active, start enjoying this weather. Next couple weeks is definitely gonna be looking positive. Lisa J, baby. Appreciate everybody that tuned in Saturday for the conversation and also tuned in for the musical portion. Um, Definitely was a conversation that was needed. Um, and tonight, no different. Uh, just a couple things to run over. I do want to speak to, I'm gonna say, the young men and women who are thinking about getting into the acting field. Prime example. Um, I'm going to say that if you are going to reach for that goal, the main thing you should remember is keeping your dignity and your principles intact. Like if you know you're not comfortable doing certain things just to land the role, just walk away from it. When it's all said and done, at least you know your principles and your dignity will be intact. But you also got to remind yourself that it's a it's a war out there when it comes to trying to basically trying to be the best actor or actress that you can be. Um, you're gonna land some roles where it'll be promising. Some roles might not be as promising. Some roles might actually you know, might get you to your big break, basically. But again, it depends on what you're trying to get into. Like prime example, you could have a niche for drama. So 9 out of 10, you might always get some form of a drama role. But make sure that the role is not the same, basically. Like prime example for some of the young fellas. If you you trying out for certain movies and certain shows, just make sure that they don't always write the same role for you no matter where you go, basically. Like if you don't always want to play that role of a drug dealer, you better let it be known then. But also make sure that you expand your acting range or anything for that matter. Whatever you're getting into solely, just make sure that you're expanding your reach and range. Show the people that you could reach different heights, if given the chance and opportunity. To some, it might be easier said than done, but I still believe it can be done. You know, Again, just stand on your principles. You know what you require, you know what's consistent of it, and just keep moving forward. Never let any type of doubts, fears, never let anything that seems like it's gonna stop your overall flow and motion. Never let it stop you. You know, keep pushing forward and keep pushing for the greatness. And sometimes you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to move away from or walk away from certain situations for the better. Again, it's about standing on your principles and standing with dignity. When it comes down to things like negotiations, things along those lines, you already know what it is. You got to be mindful. Also, keep a certain level of respect too. If you respect yourself and respect your craft, you're gonna basically do what's needed for the better. Keith, what's going on, my guy? If you look at some of child actors or just look at some of the actors in general that we've had over the course of time, you'll see that some of them actually stood their ground, stood. I'm not going to continue to keep playing this type of role when I know I have a wide acting range. Why should I limit myself to something? Never limit yourself. And again, this is where the integrity and the respect and this is where it all comes into play. And if you feel that there's no shots being given, then you create your own. Some people, in order to avoid those type of scenarios, they go back and forth. You might catch some of them Broadway acting. You might catch some of them, appearing in little sitcoms. Depending on what's out there. But there's a lot of times you can create your own. If you get well established enough to where you can start doing your own things independently, that would be the best motion for you. You know, when things are not working with your current, you know, you move forward towards your future. But again, don't let nothing stop you or put you in that position where you feel demeaned or you feel undermined. Because again, it's solely about just moving the ball forward. Now, some of y'all are going to say that you are willing to do certain things because it's the craft. But again, you got to remember the integrity. That's why it's important to choose what exact movie or choose exactly what character role you're going to play if you're going to be in that field. There's certain roles you would hate to play only because you know how the public is going to perceive it and how they're going to view it. Prime example, if you want to be technical, when Lawrence Fishburne played Ike Turner, all y'all hated that man to death to a degree. And it was just only him, you know, just being the character. But when it hits home and when it's something that's, truthful, you know, some people will, they confuse the roles, you know. I know, like, prime example, there was some people that definitely looked at him funny when he took that role because nobody was expecting to see him doing all the abuse and, the things that were being done to him. But hey, this is part of the game, right? He basically explored his acting range because, prior to that, he was always either in some form of a serious role or, when he was laid back, he was doing his thing. Riders, baby. Serious, baby. But that's the truth, though. Some of y'all know for a fact y'all was on one when you seen him playing Ike Turner. But for some of y'all, that's what comes with the game. Um, you might take a role that you think, and for some, it's going to be again, it's going to be a huge opportunity for them. But see, you also got to make sure that when you're choosing these type of character focuses that again it doesn't intervene or it doesn't put a stain within your actual life. Because there are some people who will imitate art so badly even to their own demise. Um, we've seen some people like may he rest in peace. Um, Keith Ledger, you know, some people will get into a character or they will do everything to get into that character mode. You know, it's a process, because you got to always remember you got to delegate and you also got to just separate the things. Didi, baby. You already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. But, again, he chose that role because that kind of did, if anything, he was already on the rise, but it just boosted him up a little bit more. But it goes to show that he had deep acting range outside of just always playing a serious role. If you know you could play a comedic role, play one. You could play the quirky sidekick or something along those lines. Whatever you feel comfortable doing. You just make sure you're doing it and that your integrity is intact. Lucy, what's going on? What's going on? But that's something again you gotta think about. When you are making careful, calculated decisions on any level. And again, I'm speaking to those who are thinking about getting into acting. But first things first, you know, you got to make sure that this is something that you actually want, something that you really are passionate about, but also stand on your square. Marlene, baby, got to stand on your square. You never, again, limit yourself to options out there, but also make sure that what you're taking isn't going to be a slap in the face neither. Um, that's why you have to be extremely careful in anything, that you do in life, because this is your life. Now, again, if you're going to get into the field of play, make sure they writing something good for you. Or if you just see something that you feel is definitely worth your while, then hey, jump into it. But you got to also remember, too, when it's time to separate your character from your actual life, it should be easy. To be honest, for some, it ain't easy because they done got so used to being in character or just used to it being the way it is. They really do run around like this is who they are. Give or take. Um, just make sure you in it for the long haul. But also make sure there's understanding and respect too. James, what's going on, my guy? I say that to say this because there's a lot of you who want to jump into that field. You know, but you also know what comes with the nature of that field. But it's a process though. I mean, you're gonna have to start from the bottom and work your way up. But just like I said, some people are good with stage acting, you know. But if your talents exceed that, then you push the goal forward. Like I said, there was some who you could watch them on, you could watch them on a television, you could watch them on a television show, you could watch them on a movie, or even on the stage playing. They always going to give 110%. That's because they focused on the craft and they know what's required. And to get the best results, a lot of times, especially if it's crowd participation involved, you got to be able to get the people hyped and excited about it. Just like I know some people was probably looking at the dude that was playing Jeffrey Dahmer's situation. I know they were probably looking at him funny, like I don't know, he do kind of look like he, but this is the actor, you know. Cowboy, what's going on, my guy? Who else popped up in here? My bad, y'all. You know, it's all about being progressive and doing what you know. So again, if acting is going to be your niche, if acting is going to be what you think is going to get you to the next level or next stages in life, you better put all your effort and your concentration into your craft. Sometimes you might have to stay up nights just because you want to get these parts, laid down and correct. Because you could be a shoe in for a certain part, but if you don't nail it correctly, somebody else could come in and take that same spot you was trying to go for. It's almost like with work. You working in the industry or you working in a certain position, you trying to gain a higher up, you gotta do what's necessary and you gotta grind, grind, grind. There is no shortcuts to any form of success. If you want to be successful at your niche, you got to put in the work and the effort. You know, it is about again doing what's best for you, and also again what keeps you happy, motivated, and also keeps you inspired to keep creating. See, for some of y'all that are getting into acting, you could end up reaching to a level where you could be opening up your own little acting schools or your own little acting programs and start getting people involved that actually want to be a part of. Whatever your niche is in life, if you could create a blueprint even for the generation behind you, that's the best way to do it. You know, it's the same thing like I was saying the last time about people like with boxing, prime example. You want to be a professional boxer, you know what's required and you know what the dangers are when it comes to boxing. You know, boxing is a very competitive sport. It can also be a deadly sport because you can get hit the wrong way and that could be the end of you. Cody Rhodes. Is this the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes? Maj, I know what to do. But, it's the truth. If you are into boxing, you know what's required. You got to give your all. You got to give your time, your energy, and your effort. You got to properly diet. You got to consistently train. And even if you're only boxing, Prince, what up, man? What's up with the whole change, man? Why you ain't come up under your other name, man? Going on, going on. But this is what I'm saying. Take the necessary steps. And some boxers, whether they was well known names or not, have done that. You know, Prize money that they got, they took and they invested in things that was needed. Prime example, there are some who are still, opening up or they've already had established, you know, boxing gyms. It's important. See, right there, that's giving a blueprint and a legacy to those following. You're gonna have some people who might want to get into the fight game. That might be what they best at. That might be their niche. That might be their stepping stone and their opportunity to get to a different level in life. And if it's truth, you know, you'll see the results. Like I said, no matter what you're doing profession wise, you can always create a blueprint. Actors can create acting schools, they can create their own situations, like I said, by opening up production studios, so on and so forth. Boxing, same thing. You open up boxing gyms, training gyms, you know, shoot, you can even open up something the way if you decide you want to have little golden glove situations or you want to have your own little, you know, boxing matches for the up and comings, undergrounds. You got all the tools necessary to do so and do so within legal parameters. But one thing with boxing though that is a scary thing is you gotta always remember, um, you not using no helmets when you get to the professionals. So you gotta remember to always guard your grill. Basically, too many blows to the head the wrong way, and you can see the results in that too. Um, May he rest in peace, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest. But think about it, that man took a lot of shots to the head, a lot of shots to the head. And think about it, if I'm getting hit by somebody that I know hit well harder than me, at some point I'm gonna feel it. Even if it's not right away, I'm gonna feel it. And that's the only thing about it. See, sports like that, you got to worry about what they call CTE, basically. You got to basically worry about, you know, falling into unconsciousness or possibly not waking up depending. That is the only ramifications of that game right there, is that you never know what's what. But if that's something that you feel you're going to do, then you do so. But you also remember to keep yourself as healthy as possible. Make sure you keep getting your routine checkups. And if you know you're in a sport where you're gonna have a lot of contact, especially towards the head, you better make sure you're getting the proper help. You know, making sure you seeking the right physicians. Because again, it could play with your mental. Yeah, I'm speaking to you young boxers out there too that are thinking about getting into that. Never let nobody stop you from doing what you do. See, that's the one thing about being your own person and being your own leader. Whatever you feel is good for your life, is giving you peace, is giving you space, is giving you knowledge and growth. You keep following that. You got some people who will be upset because they might have certain friends who's always keeping themselves active and busy on things. But if if that's what's getting them to the next steps, then how can you hate that? How can you be upset with somebody that's trying to better themselves and just, you know, keep the ball rolling? If anything, you're supposed to be trying to uplift and support them the best way possible. I see my friend is interested. I see my friend is really going hard with the boxing, and they not letting up on it. If anything, shoot, just let me know when your first boxing match is. I'll make sure I'm there to support you. And that's the one thing you got to remember too. Uh, Always make sure you have the right form of support, and no matter what you're doing in life, because again, you're gonna have some who are not gonna agree, or they not feeling like you're fitting the bill on certain things. But again, this is your life, you know, and if they respect you enough, they'll respect your process and respect your decisions. You know, and I think that's one thing that's kind of missing right now to some degree, is just respect. You do what's necessary for your life. Don't let somebody dictate to you what you should be doing or how you should be doing things. You decide how you're going to do things. And you keep your faith high, you keep your spirits high, and you keep pushing forward. Even when people don't believe in you, you keep pushing forward towards your goals. And when you do reach your ultimate goal, you're going to feel accomplished, you're going to feel satisfied, and you're going to know that you did the right thing for yourself. Never put yourself on the back burner for anybody. No matter how you're living your life, don't put yourself on the back burner. It's not a good look. I feel like this though. You're gonna get, you're gonna get some backlash. You might not get everything that you're looking for when you're traveling a certain road of life, but you're gonna get the main things that you need. You know, and that's the most important thing: gaining the things that you need. You need to believe in yourself. And you also need to keep encouraging yourself. Prime example, if you feel like you lost a piece of yourself, you got to regain that confidence and find that piece of yourself again. You can have people trying to help you, but again, in the same token, you got to help yourself. I would say for some of y'all, you got friends who are not being consistent friends, or if they're not being true to their words on certain things. Yeah, you got to look at it from a standpoint, and you got to figure out how you move from there. Because again, real friends are going to support you no matter what it is you're deciding to do in life. And I mean, on the positive note, most friends are not going to agree with you and back you up when it comes to foul play, and that's just real rap right there. If they real friends, they're going to make sure you don't fall into a category of what could have been. For those that are into the sports, prime example for a lot of y'all like to play basketball. Um, if this is something that you know you're good at, you know you can excel at, and you know that you could possibly move from just playing sports to being a part of that sports world, whether it's journalism, production, or whatever, you follow your path. There are some people who haven't played sports but for a few seasons, whether it was basketball or football. But guess what? Within that small time frame of them playing, they made the right adjustments. They made the right investments. They got into a field where, just in case if I can't play the sport anymore, at least I know I'm still going to be contributing to it the best way possible. But it's important. It's important for you to always expand your options and your reaches, especially when it comes to that field, you know? Because, prime example with football, you're not guaranteed to play at least 10 seasons. Some people don't even make it past 5 before they catch a severe injury that could basically tear and destroy their whole world. But those people also had to learn the hard way. But when they learned, it only just made them more of a better person. It got them to be more motivated. It got them to say, well, you know what? I can't wallow in my despair. I still could be a productive part of life. I just got to find what I'm great at or what other skills I could put out there, and then I'm good. But again, you have to put in the work. You have to believe in yourself to the fullest. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else really will believe in you? Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working harder than this damn loose change in my pocket, baby. But it's a stepping stone. When you have reached the pinnacle in your life where you can still be an important part of society and an important part of growth, you never let anything keep you down. But see, like I said, with certain sports, you have to be careful when it comes to dealing with any form of head trauma or head injuries, because even that could affect your thinking. It could affect your process. And I would say for those who really are concerned with those people who are in these fields, when you see that something is off, try to help them get the help they need. You know, prime example, if you know there's people that you rock with and they're starting to be hooked on certain things, if you really truly value them and you respect them, like you say, you know, see if you can try to help them, even if it's just through a talk. And yes, they still got to want to help themselves as well. Because you can sit here and beat the drum all day, but if that person is not getting the message, they'll never get the message until they hit a wall. Your main goal is to make sure that they don't hit a wall like that. Because once they hit that wall, They marbles will definitely be shuffled and screwed up. For those who are getting into those professional fields, take your health and also take what you do serious. Now I'm gonna talk about something completely different now, because I feel I want to get some feedback basically from y'all. Um, so there was a situation where guy just found out for the past 6 years, the girl he thought the girl he thought was his daughter finds out that she wasn't. Now he found out. The sad part about it is the family, both sides, not just his family, but the girl's family, knew about this the whole time. Said nothing to that man, but wanted to get mad at the man because he basically did not want them in the vicinity. How do you have a party? Prime example. You just found out. Prime example. You his sister. You just found out who you thought was your niece is not your niece. How you going to try to gaslight him to still try to be an active part and take care of somebody that's not his? The one thing I can't understand is if you're with somebody, there should be no outside anything. If you're quote unquote happy with somebody, then why not just keep it real all around the board? Again, 6 years of that man's life, you can't give that back. Just like you can't give all that money back. That man was doing what was necessary as a father. But then to come to find out this child is not his, and then y'all still try to gaslight him to still be active and no, there is no mistakes. There's only decisions being made. That girl kept saying that mistakes happen, mistakes happen. That's not a mistake getting pregnant by somebody else and then lying to somebody for 6 years. I don't completely understand why some men and women are doing that shit. Excuse my language, y'all. But if you're happy with somebody, continue to be happy with them. But if you're unhappy about certain things, again, this is where it calls to be vocal. And I'm starting to see a lot of that as of lately. Some of it is making some women look bad, but it's also making some men look bad as well too. Because I'm not excusing. There are some men out there who will go out there and run off on somebody that they got good just because of temptation. Temptation will always be your downfall when it comes to a strong relationship. Because if you can't keep focus on one person, how do you expect anything to prosper? How do you expect anything to stay within the functioning realm of things? It's not going to work. And see, there's a lot of y'all messing yourselves up. And again, you're breaking up what could be possibly happy homes and families. Again, I'm going to advise some of y'all ladies, just like I'm going to advise some of you gentlemen out there. If you have somebody who completely fits the mold of a great partner, don't slip up and mess yourself up just because. That little form of temptation means nothing. It could take a lot to build up something, and it can only take the simplest thing to fracture that or even break the whole thing apart. Some of y'all breaking up your happy homes because again, you're too invested on that grass is greener crap. Yeah, I said it. And again, I'm calling it down the middle. Some of y'all think that I could find better, I could do better. When you already have better. When you have somebody who is open, honest, when you have somebody who is caring, reasoning, when you have somebody who is just all around the board fitting the bill of what you was looking for, why mess yourself up? But I honestly feel if you're not going to be really ready and committed to be with anybody, then stay single. Even if a person is pursuing you, still let it be known this is what it is. And that you're not ready for this type of, just let it be known. You're not ready for this type of commitment. You're not ready for this type of relationship or marriage. See, again, you could have almost everything at the tip of your toes, at the tip of your fingers. And you can easily mess that up just by messing up somebody's trust and messing with their loyalty. Some of you ladies, I'm gonna speak to y'all real quick. Some of y'all will have a decent man who is, forget decent. You can have a full blown man that's responsible, head on his shoulders, giving you everything that you need in one swoop. How hard is it for you to communicate with them if something is off, if something is getting boring, if something is getting out of touch? It shouldn't be hard for you to sit down and talk. Hood, what's going on, my guy? You got a man that's willing to do what's needed and trying to definitely do right by you. It shouldn't be hard for you to open your mouth and say what's going on, and vice versa. Fellas, you unhappy with certain shit with your lady? Open your mouth and say something. Again, neither man or woman are mind readers. Because if we all was mind readers, we would all know what each other want, what all each other was thinking, and life would probably be a little more easier or a little bit more scarier, depending. P. Moses, what's going on, my guy? But again, if you're not willing to travel a distance with somebody, then jump off the boat or jump off the bus. If you're not going to reach to the full destination of things, don't even bother. If that's not the type of bus you want to be on, don't jump on the bus. If this is a person that you feel is just not qualified for you, then find somebody who is. But again, be reasonable when it comes down to your qualification. The problem with some of y'all is that you're set in your ways. Even when you're getting into an older age and stage, some of y'all are set in your ways. Some of it is because of past trauma. Whatever ain't past trauma, you just feel like you have to be that way. But it doesn't serve a point or a purpose. Fellas, you got to start being more, you got to be more expressive when it comes to certain things. And if the woman that you're being, the woman that you're expressing to or the woman that you are supposed to be conveying your thoughts and feelings to is not reciprocating it, or if they just not respecting it at all, then you know where to move from. Hey, baby. And that's the thing. Some people cry and mope about, oh, the pickings are slim, or The field is washed up. No, it's not washed up. The problem is, again, when you know you have something great, you don't know how to receive it. You don't know how to sit there and nurture it. It's like you're allergic to it, and you will spew it back out. You want some people to be open and honest with you. But for some people, it's going to be hard to be open and honest or even express themselves when they feel like anything they say or anything that they tell you could be used as a weapon at some point. And I'm saying that on both ends. Ladies, there's some of y'all who are unhappy, and instead of you opening your mouth and being boisterous like you should be, you'll sit there and let it fester, or you'll talk to everybody else except the person you're supposed to talk to. And I think that's a problem right there. Some of y'all will talk to any and everybody about your problems instead of talking to the main person you're supposed to be talking to. If you're having a problem with your relationship to a degree, then guess what? You got to be the one to try to set it right. And if you feel like there's things that are needed, then you both need to work hard at it. James number 8, what's going on, my guy? See, prime example, some of y'all quick to go to your homegirls, or you quick to go to the females within your family and talk about your situation when it comes to your man. Instead of you talking to your man directly. This is what will have people saying things, saying sidebar shit. This is where even some disrespect will come into play. Because why are you talking about our business to everybody else but me? You gotta think about how that look. Now, what I was talking about with that situation is because I felt for that man. 6 years of your life you've been trying to raise this child, and then they come to find out that's not your child. But then you got not just her family, but you got your own family trying to go against you and not trying to defend you when you're in the right. Now that man had every right to do what he did, but the only thing I said was kind of messed up was that they had a whole adult discussion in front of that little girl. If anything, you know, you should have just held your conversation to a minimum, or you should have just let that child go run off because, again, you supposed to be invited to what's supposed to be your cousins and them, and you come to find out it's not even them. You get invited to a party by this man's family, but knowing that y'all just found out, I feel like this. Your family is in the wrong because if they already found out the truth, like you found out the truth, they shouldn't have tried to keep up with the facade. I don't think that's right though. I feel like this. He did everything he was supposed to do, but the only thing that everybody kept banking on was, oh, but y'all shouldn't have did that in front of the child. You shouldn't have did that in front of the child. First things first, you can't tell that man how to react when he found out some devastating news. And then the fact that again you're trying to still go with the facade just because of the child, it's not always going to work like that. Once a man finds out the truth, you can't tell that man how to feel. And you definitely can't feel what he's feeling because that man is feeling all forms of betrayal and hurt. The betrayal and hurt is I'm thinking me and you got something solid. And the whole time you done been out there messing around. So how do you think somebody is going to take or react to that? Once a man finds out that child is not his, it opens up all forms of wounds, but it also opens up trauma or creates trauma. Because now that man is going to be eerie about every other woman that he decides to date, or he might just have something in him to just be airy with the next person that he's with. Let me make sure that this person is not going to do me wrong. Fellas, you just gotta know what your what your overall picture is supposed to consist of. It's supposed to consist of somebody who's loyal and loving to you. But again, when you're not communicating with each other, when you are leaving gray areas, that will always cause friction. But see, this is my thing too. It still doesn't excuse the overall fact that you did wrong. Ladies, if you know you have done wrong towards the man that you're dealing with, you got to sit down, have that talk, and be open and honest. Fellas, I would say the same thing. You know, you did something that's messed up. You got two choices, technically. You could keep that into your grave, or you could be real with yourself and the person that you're dealing with and be truthful. When you hold back lies like that on that magnitude, it never ends up well for that person. Now, again, you got to think about what kind of raw emotions this dude is going through. I've been with you and I've been also helping raise this child, thinking that this is mine, spending money like crazy, making sure that my child has everything to find out it's not mine. That right there is the most hurtful and most devastating blow to a man. And it's the same way how some of you ladies feel when a man goes out, steps out on you, and ends up getting another person pregnant. Once the deed is done, it's done. There is no, I could erase this, I could rewind that. No. You are basically placed in a position where now it's either you're gonna be truthful and find out what your what your overall factor is gonna be, or you're gonna keep it quiet. But see, for some, you could try to keep it as quiet as possible, but at some point the truth will come out. Even if it's not right away, at some point it will. Just like I was saying the last time about the old man finding out that after 34 years, finding out none of his daughters was his. But you've been with somebody so long, you've been married to somebody for so long. Mike, what's going on, my guy? And that's not fair. You taking time and energy away from somebody just because you don't want to mess up something good. And some of you are put yourselves in positions in dangerous positions. Because now, if you don't end up hearing something about 9 months later, you could possibly did something and contracted something, and now you're bringing it back to your partner. That's another thing to worry about. Because my thing is, if you can't keep it open and honest with a person before you even think to cheat, and that should be the last thing you even think about doing. But if you feel that's where it's coming to, you need to sit down and have that talk with that person and let them get some form of clarity before anything. But again, if you're going to be with somebody, then you need to be solid all around the board. If that person is giving you they all, they time and they effort, you got to do the same thing. Again, communication will always be that main factor, whether you rather deal with it or not. See, the sad part about these type of stories you hear is that guess who always ends up suffering in the long run? It be the kids. For some of you ladies out there, you placing somebody as the child's father and got them believing it to the point where it's going to be hard for them to believe that that person is not their father. Now, again, the conversation between them two and finding out everything shouldn't have been in front of the child. I get that. But we can't excuse the fact that, again, you did something wrong. You lied to this man and you basically frauded him. So, like I was saying before about paternity fraud should be a crime. I mean, it should be a serious, hefty crime because there's a lot of broken homes because of that. And some of y'all not being fair because, again, look who's suffering in the long run. And you can't try to gaslight somebody else to take care of somebody that's not theirs. It's not fair. Why should I have to help you raise somebody else's kid because they didn't want to be responsible? Or because you was irresponsible and you gave them something? You gave them something that you shouldn't have gave them in the first place. I know I had to get a little silent on that because of the truth. You gave up something to somebody else that was supposed to be for your significant other. How you think that plays out? And see, that's the thing. A lot of y'all want to take that risk, but you're taking a serious calculated risk. Fellas, I'm not condoning nothing, but just remember what comes with all of that. If you don't get it 9 months later from the person you had that temptation or that fling with, you could catch something. And it could be serious the way it could mess you up in the long run. Because again, you don't know where some of these people have been, who they've been with, what they're doing on the regular, even when they're not with you. But again, you shouldn't be exploring outside of your relationship on any level. Again, this is where a lot of y'all get messed up. That grass is green on the other side shit. I know I could do better. I know I could get better. And then when you come across that field and realize it ain't nothing grown on that side of the field, not even sprouting, now you're going to try to bring yourself back to the opposite side, but it's going to be too late. Once you exit the building, there is no re-entrance. You got to remember, a relationship is like a building. You can enter this building, you could rise up, you could take the elevator to the highest floor in that building. You're going to have your ups and downs, which is truth. But the minute you decide to walk outside of that comfort zone, or the minute you decide you're going to just walk out on, there is no walking back to. There are some people who are not going to tolerate that. You got one time to do me wrong, or if I find out you did something wrong and you not admitting it, and then they leave. This is my thing for some of y'all. Again, this is on both angles. Set your standards reasonable. It's not hard to do so. You set your standards reasonable the way you're supposed to, and you can find just about almost anybody you can find. Some people will learn a hard lesson the hard way because they're only thinking of self. Appreciate you, serious baby. But this is the problem. Again, communication. Now, again, if you respect your partner, if you respect who you're dealing with, then you have to keep it honest. And again, even if you feel like there's a lackluster in something, sit down and have the conversation the proper way. And if you can't fix or if you can't seem to get past that part right there, then you should know how to maneuver from there. Again, communication works both ways. Effective listening and yes, effective communication. You have to have an understanding. The understanding should be this. If I don't want to lose something that is bringing me the most joy and happiness that I've ever had in my life, why would I mess that up? Another thing that's becoming a problem I see is that some people are not they're not defending their significant others when they're supposed to. If I'm at a reunion, if I'm bringing you with me, I'm not going to allow nobody, not even a family member, to get out of line or out of pocket. Especially, I'm the one that's dealing with you, nobody else. What would I look like allowing? Prime example: if I had sisters and brothers, if I had multiple sisters and brothers, what would I look like allowing either one to disrespect somebody that I quote unquote love? If you love somebody, you definitely gonna fight for them and fight with them. You're gonna fight right beside them because again, it shouldn't be no gang ups. In the long run, you chose to be with that person. And if that person again completes you, makes you happy, keeps you safe, doesn't have you second guessing anything, what's so hard about defending them when need be? And then I'm being real about that. Again, it is time for, communication to come back into the play of relationships and marriages too. Because I don't care how long you've been married or how long you've been dealing with somebody, you got to always remember that there's points where it could be gray areas. Again, ladies, be effective in your communication process. Let your man know exactly what you're feeling. So at least this way, and again, at least this way they could try to be more prepped and prepared. Because how can I help you? How can I help my queen? Prime example. If my queen is not talking to me or telling me what's on their mind. Some of y'all ladies might feel insecure about your weight, might be feeling insecurities on certain situations. But again, we read energy, but we can't read minds. And if there's something going on, you feel you want to sit down and have that, you know, well in depth talk, then do so. No matter what the scenario or situation is, if you don't open up those communication lines and keep those communication lines within intact, you can forget about the happily ever afters. That's truth, Mike. I mean, that's the truth. Man, listen, you have to strengthen that bond with that person. My bad, y'all. Y'all gonna hear some clinking. Y'all already know what time it is, though. But again, be real about you. You know, be real about your intentions, your expectations. You know, You gotta learn to open up and share more in depth with the person that you with. And I would suggest some of you men and women out there, stop putting your relationships out there for everybody to have a voice and opinion on if you don't want to go through that. If there's certain things that you know you should keep under wraps, keep it under wraps. While some relationships and marriages stay intact, is because again, both the male and the female are communicating. They are understanding the conversation at hand, and they dealing with it the way they're supposed to deal with it as adults. But they also don't include everybody in these situations. Like certain personal situations should remain personal. You and your man or you and your woman talk about that. And I feel that's the most important way to do it. Give me 1 second, yo. But again, I'm gonna say this: there's no excuse, and I mean absolutely no excuse for cheating on the person you claim to love and got a mutual respect for. Because if you love and really got a mutual respect for them, you won't think to go outside of. That's why I said before it even gets to that level, you better sit down and talk. Because once you decide to do what you do, you don't know how that person is going to react. And in certain situations, some people have unfortunately had untimely losses because of that. Spring a surprise like that on somebody and not expect some form of backlash. The worst thing I could say about cheating, especially, when you look at some of these scenarios, it's the fact that you're cheating and you're doing things within the same vicinity that y'all share your heads, basically. Cheating is the ultimate form of disrespect, but the most ultimate form of disrespect is cheating in the household that you share. Being in somebody else's bedroom, that ain't cool. Bringing people into your bedroom where you lay your head at with your partner, that ain't cool. And you've heard countless stories like that. That is the worst form of disrespect right there on all levels. There is no bouncing back from that. Because that person is going to look at you like you shared this bed that I shared with you. And I can't look at you the same no more. Again, if you know you're not prepared to be with one person, hey, you better stay single or you better work on what you need to work on before you decide to do anything. My bad if y'all hear wind in the background. I don't even know what time it is. But I'm being honest with you. Some of you fellas out here, again, you're doing certain things to a woman who is giving you the all, it's going to backfire. Because now when that person decides to move on, you know, what can you possibly say? There is no getting back with somebody when you know they've done you wrong. And some people will suffer. But when that person has moved on, found happiness, and found peace in their life, you got to move on with your life. You got some people right now, you got some men and women out there begging and pleading to get back with their exes. But if you truly loved and valued them, you wouldn't have did what you did in the first place. That's the ultimate form of disrespect is you saying that you love somebody and you care for somebody, but then you cheat them. And that's something that we've been seeing. And there's a lot of men who are getting caught out there too. You know, yeah, it's a lot of women that get caught out there as well too. But again, it's about communication. If I feel I'm not happy with something, me as a man, me personally, if I feel I'm not happy about something, I'm gonna let it be known. Ain't no way, no way I'm just gonna not say what's on my mind. Because if I don't say what's on my mind, if I don't get this off my chest, or if I don't say what's needed right now, you won't think it ain't nothing wrong. You won't think it's nothing wrong with me, and I'm gonna just let it sit there and build up. No, you gotta let your partner know exactly what's what. If you are unhappy in any way, shape, or form, be vocal about it. You know, and that's the thing. I've seen some people. Shit, I came up with some people who, you know, wasn't the most the savory some people, but nonetheless, they at least was truthful in what they wanted, what they needed, and they went about getting it the right way. Some others, no respect. T Truth, what's going on, my guy? You already know if y'all just tuned in, the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute just in case anybody want to chime in. Oh, hold on. You know, but this is my thing. You already, bro. Appreciate you, my guy. You know, but this is what I'm saying all in all, though. Men and women, y'all gonna have to really start opening up and expressing y'all feelings. See, the reason why most men ain't gonna be, and I'm gonna be honest with you, some of y'all ladies, y'all crying about certain shit, but this is the reason why a lot of men don't really open up to certain things. Again, we ain't trying to open up, trying to give you what we think we should be giving you, or giving you what we know we should be giving you, and it get used against us. Now, I don't think that is right. If a person is coming to you and telling you deepest, darkest things, or just deepest secrets or anything along those lines, shouldn't be used against them in an argument, disagreement, or even if y'all do happen to break up, shouldn't be a thing. Shouldn't be used at all. There's been people I've dealt with in my life. I ain't tell a damn thing about their asses. They did me wrong. I ain't never revealed what I didn't need to reveal because that's just not me. The reason why we know how to compartmentalize our feelings and things along those lines is, to be honest with you, when it comes to us men, there's some things we don't get worked up over. And some of y'all will think, well, damn, it should be this and this should be that. Nah, we know how to handle it from it, you know. But when we do open up, we don't expect to get laughed at, judged, anything. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, y'all would be trying to give us hell about it. Let me say this in the best way possible. If a man was to decide to put out your personal business and everything else, right? Y'all would consider that man weak, weak minded, bitch made, so on and so. That person would be every name except the child of God, right? But when it comes to y'all quick to do it. And what we can't call you weak. If we're gonna play that double standards, because some of y'all want to play that equality and double standard shit. So if what a man does like that is wrong and weak, what do you think that makes y'all? I'm just keeping it real. You can't call somebody weak and everything else along those lines when you're doing the same exact things. Somebody could have came to you and confided to you in something, and here it is. It's being talked about, being broadcasted. Come on now. Like I said before, I done dealt with some women throughout my lifetime, and I ain't saying not a damn thing about it, not a damn thing. That's because I was just raised like that. I don't need to put things out there. Whatever needs to be out there will be out there, but everything else that I know was personal or was a moment for you, I ain't gonna put that out there like that. She ain't gonna put it out there, period. One thing I will say though, you do have men who ain't afraid to lay it on the line and say what's on their mind. But again, fellas, you just got to be careful on who you're giving all of that energy to. If you feel this person is not going to be able to keep even the lightest of secrets, then you know not to say much. Got to be able to read people. And when people are giving you that feeling of they can be trusted, then you trust the process. But when it feels sketchy or iffy, keep it to yourself. And this is what we have been doing forever. At least most of the reasonable men. You're not just going to put out everything to one person. And when we do decide to talk about this, uh, we just make sure that you're going to be able to grasp everything that needs to be grasped. But again, some of y'all ladies need to take that into consideration. And if you notice, we always talk about how women feel, how the kids feel or should feel, even down to the elders. But we never talk about how the men should feel. The men don't talk much because, again, it's hard to really confide certain things when you see how the game is being played. Like I said, if it's not of a major importance, we can just store that in the back of our mind and think about it on another day. If it's not nothing that's going to be affecting what we're doing, shoot, compartmentalize that. That's a whole fact, serious. That right there is a whole fact. But then, like I said, it should never lead to that scenario. Hence why the communication should stay open. But again, ladies, you claim to have a good man or a solid man, that man is trying to come to you. Let that man confide in you and let that man know that is and reassure them that what they told you is not gonna be all over the damn world or all over the airwaves. Like I said, certain things, keep it under wraps. Not everybody need to know everything going on with you. You know, that's my thing. And I'm gonna say this on both ends. The minute there's a backdoor situation, you already know how to move from there. But again, it all depends on who you place around you and if that person could really be trusted. But if you feel a person can't be trusted, then you already know. Keep your shit shut. But again, I asked that question. If a man sat here and exposed every little thing about you, and y'all called them everything outside of the book, what do you think should be done with y'all when you do the same thing, even to your own sisters? Yeah, because there's some of y'all who will put your own homegirls out there, put their whole business out there. That person came to you in trust. That person came to you to confide in, not for you to be running your lips and spreading it all over. That's a whole fact. Again, know what to present out there and know what not to present out there. That's all you can do right now. Again, you got to make sure the person that you're divulging your information to, or you sharing your stories and sharing whatever with, is going to remain keeping it between y'all. You can have a conversation with me and it'll just be between me and you. It ain't gonna get out. Only time it'll get out or come back up again is if you brought it back up. Other than that, let the conversation stay where it's at. And you can't sit here when a man does decide to talk to you and just call him weak. Oh, man up. You sounding like a bitch right now. I've heard some shit. Excuse my language, y'all, but I've heard some shit. You can't expect a man to fuck with you on all levels when you're not taking them serious. And that right there should be a lesson for some of y'all. Because once we feel we ain't being taken serious enough, or once we feel the disrespect, once we already feel a type of energy, we walk the fuck away. We walk away. And at least we'll walk away with a peace of mind, knowing that well, I'm glad I didn't go so deep with this person because now I see what this person is about. You want your man to come to you and talk to you and all this extra shit. And I'm saying that for some of y'all women again. You want your man to be that, give them some reassurance and some safety. Let them know that whatever is being discussed is going to remain between you, not your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, nobody. Trust me, when you keep it the way you're supposed to keep it, keep certain things under wraps and intact, your relationships or your marriages will definitely sustain and continue growing. My bad for the wind in the background. Yeah, yeah, you know what time it is. It should have been raining by now. But I think we getting bamboozled again. But again, you can't expect somebody to open up, be honest with you. You can't expect somebody to give you a piece of them when you're gonna sit there and make judgments. It's almost like with the kids, prime example. When you're not taking the kids' accomplishments or what they think is accomplishments serious enough, that shit will scar them. That shit will have them in a constant state of thinking. That shit could possibly hurt. Like, why am I doing all this extra stuff and they not taking it serious? You know, and that's the thing. Once you betray somebody and you end up doing something, you ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You done messed up. Because again, when it comes to certain scenarios, we are supposed to love each other enough or embrace each other enough to you know, put out the vital information we supposed to towards each other. But we also are supposed to remember the main factors of keeping all things strong and tight is having that communication. Effective communication and listening will work Shit, 100% of the time. Fellas, the same way. Give your ladies some form of assurance and comfort and security. If they coming to you with serious situations, you gotta take everything serious. You have to. When you don't take your partner serious, you can't take the relationship serious. Well, that's a whole fact. James, you got a point. Just like Sirius, you got a point as well too. See, the problem is, like I said, some people will continue to chase and chase after something that's not there, or they chase after the wrong things, and then when they find out what they are looking for is not there overall, it becomes a problem. You want that man to come to you and be open and honest with you, then give them some form of blanket of security, and vice versa. Fellas, don't dismiss your ladies. Don't dismiss anybody's feelings. I would say that on both angles. Ladies, don't disregard a man's feelings. Don't disregard how they feeling at that moment. Don't disregard anything that you know for a fact will cause a shift in things. You know, the goal is some of y'all trying to be those happily ever after couples, but it's not going to be happily ever after if you don't respect each other enough to communicate with each other, and if you don't respect each other enough to respect each other's feelings and personal thoughts. Like I said, how can you expect any form of happily ever after when look what's going on? Again, we got to be able to give each other a safety net, a real form of security and assurance. I need to be assured that if I tell you something, it stays between me and you. I need to be able to know if I have a conversation with you about something because I'm feeling the type of way about something, that we can sit here on an adult level and have this conversation. I brought that up because, again, some of these stories that you've been seeing or hearing around lately, it's becoming it's becoming too much. Ladies, if you ain't happy with a man, it don't matter what the situation is. You need to let that person know why you're unhappy. And if that person is not going to be willing to fix what needs to be fixed, then you need to kindly move forward. Move forward with your life. Because again, you want to be with somebody that respects you all around the board. And that means, again, even your feelings. And again, some people get caught up in this situation because you want to know why? Some of y'all, again, will focus on the physical aspects of things. This is why some of y'all do that grass is greener mentality. You might be with somebody and that person might not be the most handsome or the most pretty. And I'm saying it again on both ends. They might not be the most pretty, the most handsome, whatever the case is. But if that person has an overall great spirit and has been holding you down, uh, you shouldn't be looking for nothing else. You're not always going to get what you want, but you're going to get things that you need. You know, and my thing is, you should only aspire for reasonable goals and expectations. Again, if somebody has basically shown you what they need to show you, and this is truly who they are, and if you claim you really have a fondness, a respect, and this is somebody you say you really want to be with and build with, then make sure you're doing that. But make sure again, it's from the heart, it's from the spirit. Some of y'all be quick to go with somebody just because they got a bag. That don't mean shit. That person can have a bag but can have a terrible spirit. Or that person might not even value you like how you valuing them. But again, with some of y'all only worried about financial gain and what this person could do or how this person could put you in a better position, then you're not truly thinking about the other person. You're just thinking about yourself. I'm gonna use a prime example, and this is on both ends. Y'all remember Baby Boy? Y'all remember the damn movie? In my opinion, both everybody wanted to say that um Jody was a villain, right? Yes, he was a villain. But guess who else was a villain? you know, guess who else was a villain? The baby mother in question. Because my thing is, again, you don't have to necessarily take anything from anybody. And I would say it on both ends. They both was villains in my opinion because he was out here trying to play family one minute, but then you out here creeping with women the next one. She was a villain because you allowed it to keep happening. And then on top of that, you also involved your ex-boyfriend into what was going on with your current situation. How does that work? Some people try to say she was the victim. Taraji's character was a victim. Yeah, she was a victim to some extent, but she continuously put herself and kept herself in that situation. Because if you had enough self-respect for yourself, you wouldn't have allowed none of that to happen. But again, when you both don't have no self-respect for yourself, you ain't gonna have respect for your partner, and you definitely ain't gonna have respect for the relationship at hand. You know, you keep certain scenarios to yourself. You don't involve exes into your situation. That's where some of y'all slip up and fall too. Some of y'all still just doing certain things when it comes to the exes, but guess what? You're gonna mess up something good you got now because you can't detach or let go of something. I'm gonna say this for those who are in the situation of being a baby mother or a baby father. If you're not completely over that person that you was dealing with, you need to not include yourself in any form of relationship ties until you are completely done. There's some of y'all women right now messing yourselves up. Why? Because you going to sleep with the ex. Instead of you having a conversation with your current situation and letting them know you're unhappy on certain things, no, you'll go outside the box. It's the same thing with some of you men. You won't say much, or if you did say something and it wasn't tucking how it was supposed to be tucking and received, then, oh, well, since you act like you didn't understand, let me go do this. But it still gives you no right to go outside of your situation at all. Ladies, if you happy with that man, or if you claim you happy with that man, you're gonna do anything in your power to keep that man happy and satisfied, and vice versa. That man is gonna do everything in his power to make sure you good on all angles. The only way that will continue to happen or continue to work is if you communicate with each other. And again, if you're not over an ex, then you don't need to be in no form of relationship until you are. You need to focus on yourself. And if you can't work things out with your ex for whatever reason, then hey, you still have to move forward. Again, in certain scenarios, do not bring your past into your present and fuck up your future. Some of y'all women out there, before you get caught up in that trap, before you get caught up in that game, and especially if there's going to be children involved, you better make sure that you are bringing in children with the right person and actually sticking to that. I feel bad in certain scenarios because I've seen some scenarios where there could be multiple children involved, and if you come to find out that only one, maybe two of them may be yours, that's hurtful. Like I said, with the guy that found out all four of his kids wasn't his, that had to be the most painful thing because I've been married to you for this long. I've been keeping it open and honest with you, but you couldn't keep it open and honest with me. And you actually went out and stepped out. That's the ultimate form of betrayal. Like I said, cheating. Cheating in a relationship or cheating in a marriage. The marriage is the worst part because, again, you were supposed to be married under the eyes of the creator. And that don't sit well. Because why would you waste your time if you know you wasn't ready for that? No, that's a whole fact, serious. My fault. I'm trying to find out where the hell this old music coming from. Sound like somebody playing shine lights out here, man. No, but that's the whole fact right there. But like I said, if you're not completely over your ex, you shouldn't be worried about dipping into any new relationships or anything along those lines because you're still going to have that lingering in your mind. Damn, well, you know, maybe I can work things out with this person if the opportunity presents itself, or, you know, no, if you're going to move on with your life, that's what you're supposed to do. Move on. In the long run, again, when it's all said and done, the key to happiness in your life, it starts with you and it ends with you. You want to start creating, building memories, and you want to start living the way you're supposed to be living, then take the initiative in doing so. Your foundation when it comes to a relationship is supposed to be that way, a solid foundation. If I'm building with you from the ground up, then we should have no gray areas. We should have no form of miscommunication. And even if there is a form of miscommunication, then we need to sit down and figure out how we, you know, how we operate and how we, conclude when it comes to that situation right there. But you're right, Sirius. Can't pile up messy situations. Well, you can't pile up good shit on a messy foundation. You can't. And again, for some of y'all, you're not over your ex, you're not over whoever. Don't put yourself in a scenario where now you feel like you have to choose. Again, just, you know, have that self respect for yourself. You know, nobody will take you serious if you don't take yourself serious. And nobody will respect you if you're not respecting yourself. And I'm saying that on both ends. Some of y'all women out there, you think it's cool just giving your body to everybody. But guess what? This is why you will get certain scenarios that you get. People either poking fun at you, laughing at you, or talking foul about you. Because you're not respecting yourself. You're giving yourself to any and everybody without no remorse, without no care. Fellas, you gonna get the same thing. Because you already know the minute you step out of line and do something that's not supposed to be done, you're gonna get talked about to the grave. So instead of stepping out on each other, y'all need to step to each other and work things out. And if things can't be worked out, then you both kindly go on about your business. And if there is no hard feelings, if things don't work out, then keep it that way. You know? Nobody should be having to share anybody. If you claim to be for me, then be for me. Don't be for everybody. Fellas, when you know specific women are not taking you seriously, or if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're not measuring up to the type of person you want to bring home to the family, you got to keep it pushing. The same way you gained your relationship, or the same way that you gained certain things, could be the same way you lose. And you're not supposed to, serious. Nobody's supposed to. Nobody's supposed to be compromising or sacrificing anything just to keep somebody happy. If that person values you and respects you enough, they'll value and respect your decisions on certain things. You know, nobody should have to change up who they are just to keep somebody or just to please somebody. So think about these steps again. And this is for some that need to hear it. If you feel again you are not going to be on that level of being with one person, don't bother being with anybody. Because the worst thing you could do is string somebody along and play with their emotions and play with their heart. Because now, when it's all said and done, you don't know how that person is going to react, and you don't know how dangerous it can be in certain instances. So again, when you keep it real with your partner, you can basically keep it real within the relationship. But nonetheless, though, just had to bring that out today. Couple little, couple of little light talks today. But again, when you love yourself and you are respectful with yourself, trust me, everything will play right into hand. You know, ladies, if you're not going to be truthful and honest, and if you're not going to keep it copacetic with a man, then don't be with that man. Continue to be single and move the way you move until you feel you are ready to do so, and vice versa with some of you fellas. Again, the worst thing you can do is play with somebody's emotions and feelings. Because now, when it's all said and done, the tables can be reversed. And when those tables are reversed, how will you reciprocate that? Or how will you feel when it's being done to you? Something that y'all should think about. But yeah, I think the link is still in the chat. I'll drop the link again in case anybody wanna chime in, but if not, I'm gonna hold y'all all night though. Um, but again, be more transparent. Let it be known exactly what you need and what you require. And if a person fits all of those requirements, then don't do the unnecessary and mess yourself up out of something great. Another thing to remember too before I do get up out of here, some of y'all have to stop comparing your relationships or your marriages to everybody else's. What might work for somebody else's relationship and marriage ain't gonna work for yours. And it shouldn't be a nag fest on why you didn't do this and why this one's husband did this or why this one's wife did this. And no, stop comparing your relationships and stop comparing your marriages to everybody else. Because you'll be surprised. Some people might look like everything good, but at some point you will hear that word either divorce or separated. Now, why put yourself in that when you could just be, keeping it real and also doing what you need to do? Due diligence. It's really about it. Before I do get up out of here, hold on 1 second, y'all. I got to do this one good time. Okay. Okay. We know you're not coming up. So we could tell you don't have a relationship. And again, for some of y'all, Now we're gonna have some entertainment real quick. Again, don't old people use that word, chump? I could have swore people from the 70s and 80s were still using that. So I know you definitely older than me. One thing I am going to say too, and I'm going to break this down on one day too. It's amazing when you do your due diligence and look and see how some of the people who are quote unquote trolling are older than you. You got to make that make sense. So you're supposed to be a grown ass man or woman, but this is how you live in your life, or what's left of your life, being miserable and also just trying to be a pain in the neck. I know you missed me. I know you missed me, and I know why you missed me. But hey, hey, I'm here, bitch.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah. But when you do your due diligence, you know, look at your analytics and stuff. I trust me. I pay attention to a little bit of everything, and it's sad because again, the ones that try to troll, you're obviously older than me. You know, ain't you supposed to be setting an example for a younger cat like me anyway? That's not setting an example when all you could do is miserable troll tactics. You really felt you got something to say this whole time since you've been a pain in my ass. Should have been came up here and said something. I invite anybody right now, but I know they ain't gonna happen. See, cowards do things like this. Miserable cowards definitely do things like that. Again, I don't know too many people in this era still using that word chump. So I know you got to be an old nigga. With that being said, here I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you something that works for you. Yeah, and I keep telling you when you trying to troll me, you gotta do this. You gotta pay me to troll, nigga. Cause come on, now. How long you gonna keep sitting here doing the same old exact routine before you get through your scout piece? That no matter what you're trying to say or do, it's not going to stop me from bringing out the best that I can bring out. Now, if you feel it's something you missing in your life, you better get your ass up out that basement and you better figure out something right now. You don't need to make a million troll accounts. Oh, and I'm gonna talk about weird shit I've been seeing too. Niggas using female troll accounts to talk shit. I'm gonna definitely talk about this. Don't worry. Hey, y'all know me. I'm gonna have a full fledged breakdown of that. Because what standards or what morals do you really possess when you too chicken shit to say what's on your mind? Exactly. I ain't paying these motherfuckers no mind. I can't. Because while I'm doing something that's useful, doing something that I feel is helpful, what are they doing? But I forgot they did miss me in my drop, so here. Yeah, because this is what I'm saying. People always want to be a focal point or something because they need attention. That's another thing. These people just be solely seeking attention. But guess what?
What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They talking about none.
Exactly. They ain't talking about a damn thing. And one more time for that punk bitch.
What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They talking about none.
Definitely talking about nothing. Like I said, chump, Anytime you feel you have something to say when that link is pinned, bring your bitch ass up and talk. If you ain't gonna talk, shut the fuck up. I would advise that for anybody. Got something to say it to me. You ain't gonna say it to me, shut the fuck up and keep my name out your mouth. But I'm in a good mood, so fuck
take that dick, wait your turn. In my own lane, we can't merge. So with no hands, you can learn. Let's see how much you can earn.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I have all the time. So, and they definitely ain't talking about nothing. So, you know. But hey, hold on one second. Let me give you my happy vibes again.
Shining once again. Ran it up, I told her mama sliding my DMs. Nah, right.
For those celebrating birthdays this week and coming into the weekend, we did not forget about you, birthday babies. We're going to continue to get our dance on. And if you was blessed to see another birthday in another year, give your praises to the Most High. You know, keep counting your blessings. Keep living your life. Keep creating memories and make sure that you sharing them memories with the right people. And not just relationship wise, even friendship wise. One more thing.
Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off.
Yep. Gotta do that one more again. Cause let me do that for all the haters in the back.
Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off.
For the email, I know that's coming. Yeah, I ain't got no damn sense. Don't laugh, James. Don't encourage the bullshit. All of y'all in trouble for that shit. But hold on, let me give y'all your happy birthday praises for those celebrating this week. Oh. I felt that good. James number 8, come get your nephew Cletus. And I'm gonna be tap dancing and I guess dancing and crip walking on this person's brain. It's been a minute since you came in here. Chomp! So here, let me give you your foster baby. And since I'm skating through your mind, let me skate through your mind like this. Yes, James, bring the pork chops. Oh, and I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who has been part of the build, still becoming part of the build. Those who have been a part of the conversations as of recent, it's definitely good when you have different views and different, elements being brought to the conversation. And since I'm gonna be skating through people's minds real quick, let me do my happy dance while I'm doing so. Yeah. And for my fellow Shadow Mafia members, I know this is gonna bring somebody out. But you know, sometimes you got to give people the utmost attention. So we gonna give them about another 5 seconds. And we ain't forget about y'all.
Motherfucker.
There you go. There you go. I told y'all this is what happens when you're dealing with a person like me. Let's bring it back to the forefront. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Let me bring him out the vault real quick.
These niggas talking out of their neck. Don't put no coffin out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better. Say yes, a lot of goofies with a check. I mean, I hope them sentiments symbolic.
Yeah. Got to bring him out the damn. I know. I'm gonna bring out all y'all favorites. And there's still more coming. Like I said, I'm definitely thinking about this first ever AI Matrix Awards. Make sure this shit is special. And I'm gonna have some even more. I have even more fun because the other things I'm gonna be looking for. Don't worry, those gonna be troll drops of the year. I feel this is the best troll drop of the year.
Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Yeah. But when all else
My
fails,
muscles are getting bigger. Oh, yes, the muscles. The muscles are getting big from the pump.
yeah, I ain't got no damn sense. Oh man, but yeah, we ain't gonna leave out on a sad note. We gonna leave out on a positive note.
Before we start to turn it out, you must first begin to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now drop, now drop, now drop, now drop. Breathe in, breathe out.
And shout outs to Marlene. I know she mentioned me in a previous video. We ain't forget about you, Marlene.
I don't wanna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow. I just ain't tryna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow. I don't wanna go to work. I don't wanna wait tomorrow.
Yeah, don't encourage the madness. Serious, stop encouraging the madness. See, now you encourage the wrong type of madness laughing. Y'all should already know I ain't got no sense, but hold up.
Head good with a slick mouth. You better not run up on me. If you do, then I'ma trip out. You better not run up on me. If you do, then I'ma trip out. 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 You better not run up on me.
I think I'm gonna keep this one for the following Halloween.
So why the fuck you always up to something? So why the fuck you always up to something? These women will come and go. So why the fuck you always up to
Yeah, but Oh, and for the chump, this is your troll drop for the rest of the year.
Porn causes brain damage.
Oh, don't worry. I keep my ears in tune to a lot of different things. And that's why half of y'all getting this. And if you feel like you gotta go report something, here, report
Porn
this.
causes brain damage.
Yeah, just remember that. You sitting in your basement watching that, you could have been out in the world trying to do something and produce something. Stop producing troll madness. Matter of fact, I encourage any and everybody from now on You ain't got to troll. You ain't got to do none of the dumb shit. And if you feel you have so much to say, when that link is dropped, pop your punk asses up here for a conversation. Because I really can't respect cowards. I just can't. And to be honest with you, this is what I do to cowards.
She want me on me like no. Sorry girl, but you gotta go. Sorry girl, but it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, I just dance on you motherfuckers because I'm dancing in your mind. One more
She
again.
want me on me like no. Sorry girl, but you gotta go. Sorry girl, but it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
One more again for the bitches in the back.
She want me on me like no. Sorry girl, but you gotta go. Sorry girl, but it's too much. 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 It's too much.
Huh? It's time for me to get my black ass up out of here though. Oh, but before I forget, new music video of the year award goes to.
Can't take that dick, waste your turn. In my own lane, we can't merge. So with no head, you can learn. Let's see how much you can earn.
Yeah, don't be surprised you see me somewhere on the Emmys, see me somewhere at the Oscars going like this.
Mom, I just want an Oscar.
And for anybody that's still using that word chump in 2025.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Exactly. Anybody still using that damn word? Oh man. Yeah, you know, like I said, at some point you're gonna have to stop being a bitch and just say what's on your mind. Stop trolling, motherfuckers. Man. Matter of fact, here. I'm gonna help you out.
I'm on the stage right now, singing your favorite song. Up in the crowd and you know where to be found as they sing along. I said that you look good without no makeup, no lashes, even better when you wake up.
There you go. You know, I ain't got no damn sense. But I know somebody who does.
Yeah, I'm out the way, yeah, I'm low, okay. Yeah, the island right here is remote, okay. I ain't thinking about no reaper, nigga, I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe, okay. Hellcat, met his homeboys and them types LA solo, okay. Everybody wanna be demon till they get chipped by your
Oh, look at the little baby boxing gloves. Come on, serious, come on. Fine. I won't mess up your song no more. But I know what I will mess up.
That make me crazy. That make me crazy. That make me crazy.
I told y'all not to encourage no madness, and I told y'all to take my advice away weeks ago. Y'all ain't listen. Now you gotta suffer. Now you have to suffer. But don't suffer the wrong way. Suffer the right way. You know. I gotta make you suffer the right way. But madness has been sparked and encouraged. But let me get my ass up out of here. Oh, let me leave y'all with the final quote of the
I'm
night.
gonna keep it 100 with you. I normally don't ask girls stuff like this until they tell me they're pregnant. What's your name?
Hey, yeah. But let me get up out of here. For those looking for me tomorrow, I might be back here tomorrow night, definitely, in case I'm not here in the afternoon. Uh, but nonetheless, serious, you can't get these devices because guess what? Either Rufus or Baby Klepto gonna end up giving the devices right back, and you know this already. You know this already. That's why you gotta get one of these.
Don't give in, trust me, girl, take all your sins. So let me in, don't give in, trust me, girl, take all your sins. So let me in, don't give in, trust me, girl, take all your sins. So let me in, don't give in.
There you go. But yeah, let me get my ass up out of here. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is keep it real. That's all I'm gonna do is keep it real topics and real builds. And don't worry, I'll definitely be revisiting this conversation because it's mostly needed. And it's needed because, again, we got a generation up under us. And in certain scenarios, got to be real and truthful. But we got to be impactful as well. Can't keep feeding nonsense and bullshit. And nonsense and bullshit will not be over here. And let that be a stern message to anybody that think they coming to mess with the bill. You're going to find yourself in a real shitty situation. You might have to take up this person.
I rock like pebble, jump through and sheet. You hear this beat, coming like heavy metal. If you got a business, bro, please say it.
You don't want to have to deal with them. But yeah, y'all stay safe. Third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.